So happy.
I'd like to call to order the May 22nd, 2018 council workshop. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of reflection.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
According to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been given to the Daily Record. Notice has been posted in the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, and notices were sent to those requesting the same. Mr. Amianda, Mr. Ferrante.
Here.
Mrs. Labow.
Here.
Mr. Mania.
Here.
Mr. Stewart.
Here.
Mr. Roman. Mr. Nicastro. Please let the record show that Daniel is now present.
How you doing, Daniel?
Okay, at this time, I'm going to ask for a motion for someone to nominate Councilwoman.
I would like to nominate Councilwoman LeBeau to be the chair for tonight.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Any discussion?
Any discussion?
Oh,
Nope.
what?
Okay, roll call. I'm like pretending like I'm jealous. Mr. Amianda?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Labow?
Yes.
Mr. Mania?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
Okay, you're up, Colleen.
Okay. Thank you very much.
We're up to discussion items.
Yep, we're up to our discussion items, and first item for discussion is the HLEO program, which is the Human Law Enforcement Officer.
Thank you, Councilwoman, or also referred to now as HELO. Back in January, one of the last acts that the governor did was to amend the New Jersey Animal Cruelty Law Enforcement Statute. In essence, he disbanded the NJSPCA. The power has now been given to the local municipalities and counties. How that affects us is that we have an animal cruelty investigator which reported to the NJSPCA. So with that being disbanded, that position also goes away. So what they've instituted is the HELO, which is the Humane Law Enforcement Officer, who is now going to report to the Morris County Prosecutor's Office. The duties stay the same, just the reporting is a little bit different. The HELO can be either a civilian officer or a sworn police officer. I've discussed this with the police chief and our director of the health department, and we feel and recommend that our current animal control officer, who was the ACI, should take on the responsibilities of the HELO. We would like to also appoint a substitute or deputy HELO in his absence, or he's not able to investigate certain cases. But that is our recommendation. We also have several shared service agreements where our ACI is used. So this HELO can also be used for those shared service agreements as well. One other thing to note is in the beginning of the year, we did amend the salary ordinance to give the ACI a stipend. I would like to continue the same type of stipend or salary for the HELO position. He does need to go through a little bit more of a stringent background check, which we've already initiated. It does take some time to go through the process, but that is our recommendation. We have to amend the code book, the salary ordinance, so there are a couple things that we need to do, and it all needs to be done before August 1st.
Does anybody have any questions? We have one. Didn't our ACO have to take a special certification class for cruelty to animals type thing?
So the ACO is a separate license than the ACI.
Right.
Yes, there is separate training for both, and there'll be even more training for the HELO officer.
Okay.
Some of it will overlap. He might be able to use some of his education as the ACI towards the HELO, so there might not be as much training as as someone who doesn't have the ACI experience, but there will be additional training as well.
So our code's going to reflect that as well, the requirements
Yeah,
for
we'll
all
get rid
that.
of the ACI, wherever ACI is listed in our code, we'll amend that and substitute in the HELO responsibilities.
If I could just add, I believe under the statute, the new position has a certain period of time to get the training.
Oh, okay.
Because the training, from my understanding, has not been put into place yet.
Right.
But that will happen. And then, as the administrator pointed out, we'll amend the code to establish the actual position, make sure there's no conflicting information, and just make everything clear.
Very good, thank you. Anybody else have any questions, concerns? No? Alrighty. Next on the agenda on discussion is cell tower bid.
So ironically, days after I told T-Mobile that we're not interested in renegotiating the lease, someone else from T-Mobile reached out to me and wants to lease more space on one of our water tanks. So I don't know if it's coincidence or, the left not talking to the right. But in any event, they did reach out to us inquiring about space that's on the Gale Drive water tank. Currently, we have AT&T and Verizon, along with some of our own communication equipment on that tank. There is a little bit room for an antenna, as well as cabinet space needed on the ground to facilitate more equipment. We spoke internally about it. We have no real issue. It's another area of generating some nice revenue for the town. The only thing is really aesthetics, but the available space is in the back of the tank, so there shouldn't be too many.
Your recommendation is 24,000 a year?
That's what I would recommend starting we need to go out to bid. So although T-Mobile reached out to us, we need to go out to bid and open it up to anybody. But we typically have a base bid of $24,000 a year. And we have some of our own upgrades which are going to be incorporated in that bid. We would like a generator that we could have access to and a new cabinet as well, so that'll be worked into the specifications if you approve us to go out to bid.
Cool.
Anybody else have any questions? Alrighty. Next, our vacant property registration ordinance.
Okay, last one. This was something that was started after the housing market crashed. The state has allowed municipalities to pass a vacant and abandoned property registration ordinance. In essence, it's a tool for us to keep track of our vacant properties, to require the owner of the property to assign a New Jersey property maintenance company, and it also allows us to charge an annual fee to the owner of record. One, it'll help us combat any property maintenance issues that we need to take care of during the year. So a lot of towns have done it throughout New Jersey. We have vacant properties here which need to be addressed, so it's, one extra tool that we have to work on cleaning up some of these vacant properties. And it should help put a little pressure on the owners to move them a little quicker. It'll be challenging to come up with a master list and to get a hold of whoever is the owner of the properties, but without this, we can't do anything, so it's a start in the right direction.
Anybody have any questions?
Andrew, those fee structures, can they be challenged in court?
I guess any fee structure can be challenged.
Anybody can challenge anything,
Yeah,
right?
from what I read, as long as it's not unreasonable.
Unreasonable.
And the fees that I listed on the memo are what other towns have passed. I know Sue's office has done this ordinance for several towns, and I got that fee structure from them.
Cool. Great, nice work.
I do know from being in real estate that a lot of times, some of these properties, like I had a contract on one of the properties down on Mine Hill Road in the bottom of Hackettstown Mountain, and all of a sudden, there was, Fannie Mae no longer owned it. They thought maybe Freddie Mac might own it because they sell them in bundles. So you might be dealing with one company one time, then all of a sudden, it's in no man's land, and then somebody takes identity on it, type of a thing. So And then you call these companies and you start describing and ask them, and it's not on our books yet.
Mhm.
So good luck with that. It's not, but you'll do it.
But a lot of these banks now, they know that towns are passing these ordinances, so
They're
when they
cooperating.
take over a property, they right away inquire if this ordinance does exist. I know
Mhm.
Michelle's office has, I think, receives those.
It's
as well.
becoming more and
Yeah.
more popular.
Right.
I'm getting more and more emails
Mhm.
asking if the ordinance exists,
Yeah, and the other thing too,
or
though.
questionnaires to fill out.
I think they're also getting smarter too, if they let these properties drop so terribly in
Mhm.
value, that they're shooting themselves in the foot too. So turn them around right away and keep the market at a steady pace instead of dropping it. Anything else?
So we'll work on drafting that ordinance.
Anything else?
That's all.
Andrew, alrighty. Resolutions, we have 13 resolutions this evening. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, discussion? Okay, seeing none. We have one ordinance for first reading. Anybody have any questions regarding that ordinance? All right, seeing none. We have no ordinance for second reading, and now we're at old business. Anybody have old business? Anybody have new business? I'd like to open up the meeting to the public. Anybody from the public have anything they want to come up to the podium to discuss? Okay, seeing none, I close the public portion. And may I have a motion, please, to adjourn
moved.
to the public meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody?
Aye.
Did we get all four of us,
We
or
got
five
all
of
four
us?
of us.
Okay, we're good. We got all four. All right, here we go.
Guys have it.
Next, moving on to the public meeting. I'd like to thank everyone for attending our Township Council public meeting
Read the open public meetings, I can take another roll call.
okay.
Okay.
Of May 22nd. And I would like, Ms. Master, would you please read the Open Public Meetings Act announcement?
According to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been given to the Daily Record. Notice has been posted in the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, and notices were sent to those requesting the same.
Thank you. We already had the Pledge of Allegiance during our work session. And Ms. Master, could you please give our roll call, take our roll call?
Mr. Amianda.
Here.
Mr. Ferrante.
Here.
Mrs. Laybow.
Here.
Mr. Mania.
Here.
Mr. Stewart.
Here.
Mr. Roman.
Alrighty. Mr. Mania, or I'm sorry, Mr. Amianda, could you please give us move the approval of the minutes from
Yeah.
our previous meetings?
Yes, Madam President, I make a motion for approval of minutes of previous meetings on May 8, 2018, work session and public meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none? Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes,
Mr. Ferrante.
Yes.
Mrs. Laybow.
Abstain?
Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Correspondence. We have 23 pieces of correspondence this evening. Does anyone have any discussion for the correspondence? Okay, seeing none, we have no...
We have no ordinance for public hearing, but we do have an ordinance for first reading.
For first reading, okay. Oh, I got you. Okay, we have no ordinances for public hearing meeting the second time around, and we do have one ordinance for first reading. It's going to be Mr. Ferranti, but I have to read it first. Ordinance number 20-2018, an ordinance of the Township of Mount Olive, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 375, Vehicles and Traffic, to apply and enforce the traffic regulations of Subtitle 1 of Title 39 to additional areas of the Marsh Chase development. Mr. Ferranti, would you move that for us, please? And the second reading will be June 12th, 2018.
Sure, I move that ordinance number 20-2018 be introduced by title and passed on first reading, and that a meeting be held on June 12th, 2018 at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, for a public hearing, consideration of second reading, and a passage of said ordinance, and that the clerk be directed to publish, post, and make available said ordinance in accordance with the requirements of the law.
Second.
Is there any council discussion? I open the ordinance to the public. Any discussion from the public? Seeing none. Ms. Masterman, please have a roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Labow?
Yes.
Mr. Mania?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
Alrighty, moving right along, we have our consent resolutions, 1 through 13. Does anyone want to move any of them to non-consent? No, seeing none. Can I have a motion to approve 1 through 13?
I'll make that motion.
Anybody want to second it?
Second.
Thank you. All right. Any discussion? Anybody from the public have any discussion for resolutions 1 through 13? Okay, seeing none. Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Labow?
Yes.
Mr. Mania?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
All righty. On to the next part is our, we have the motions. Mr. Meany, would you please move our motions?
Yes, I move to approve motions 1 and 2.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussions? Roll call?
Mr. Amianda?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Labow?
Yes.
Mr. Mania?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
All righty, administrative reports.
Thank you, Councilwoman. A couple on the behalf of the mayor. Congratulations to Councilman Greg Stewart on your induction in the Hackettstown Area Senior Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Also to Pastor Matt Jones for being recognized by County Clerk Ann Grossi today for the Senior Volunteer Award. The pool is opening up this weekend. Membership is looking good, and we have the final open house tomorrow. The pool will be open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday. June 2nd is Shred Day at 9 a.m. here at the Recycling Center, and an early happy birthday to Councilwoman Colleen LeBeau.
Oh, thank you.
On
Thank you.
Shred Day.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be there for Shred Day, believe me. Are you still going to be giving out the passes for the pool, people who've already paid for them at the gate, so to speak?
An email went out today letting everybody know that if you registered online to come pick up your badges before 4:30 on Friday. If they don't, all those badges will be brought to the pool on Saturday for them to
Okay.
pick up. But there will be you can't sign up for the pool on Saturday.
Right, you can't, there's no,
No sign-ups, no cash
no,
transactions.
right.
You can be registered beforehand.
Now, you said Friday by 4:30. Generally, we close about an hour early when it's a holiday weekend, so they should be there by 3:30.
I'll confirm with the recreation.
Yeah, thank you. Just in case.
Mhm.
All right, very good. And that's really great news that we are going to have our pool. Something else?
Park Place, the road will be closed for a water line installation tomorrow.
Very
Thank
good. All right. Do we have any old business? Seeing none. Do we have new business? And now we have legal matters.
To report today. Thank you.
Yay.
Council reports. Mr. Amianda, you have the Board of Ed and Senior Citizens?
Yes, Madam President. I have reports. Board of Education liaison report. Mount Olive Board of Education held its regular meeting at Mount Olive Middle School, 6:30 p.m. After opening activities, Board of Education went into closed meeting for 10 minutes. Next, the Board of Education held the Winter Sports Board of Education Award ceremony. Board took action on personnel, curriculum and instruction, and business. HIP reports for May, harassment, intimidation, and bullying. The board approved bid for boiler replacement at Mount View School. Board accepted the school bus emergency evaluation drill reports for each school in accordance with New Jersey Administrative Code. Board of Education agreed to permit district schools to be used as voting stations for June 6, 2018 primary elections. And for the senior citizens liaison, May 2018 is Senior Citizen Month in the state of New Jersey and the nation. May 30, 2018 will be social meeting for seniors with ice cream. And that's the end of the reports.
Thank you, Mr. Amianda. Mr. Fronte, do you have your reports for us?
Sure. I have the May Library Director's Report. The library presented a $400 check to the Mount Olive Food Pantry as part of the Library Week Amnesty Drive. Attendance at both children and adult programming has increased year over year as of April. However, items checked out are decreasing. And we have the latest lake survey, which was completed on May 10th. We continue to see milfoil and curly leaf plants scattered throughout the lake. Water clarity was very good. And the second half of the split fluoridone treatment was performed last week.
Very good. Mr. Stewart?
Today we held the Mount Olive EDC meeting with Andrew, Jeff Stadelman, who's the chair, myself, and we had Megan Hunchner, who's the head of the Morris County EDC, to start doing some coordinated efforts to help promote the town's business and community perspectives. And then also there is a grant in process that Andrew's driving in conjunction with the Mount Olive Chamber as well to get some money to help fund the flyer and a brochure for the business community to promote that within the township. So a lot of positive stuff going on with the EDC, and then we'll be expanding that, I assume, as well. Concerning the Community Action Panel, on May 10th, held a program called Until Help Arrives. Special thanks go out to our Chief of Police, Steve Beecher, for recommending the speaker that came from the state to do that for us. They did a phenomenal job, and it was attended by about 40 different business community members.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Mania?
Yes, we had a planning board meeting Thursday night, and we had ARD, which were the developers, which were the owners of the property that Morris Chase developed. They've been getting an extension since 1981. The reason why they couldn't build on those lots, DEP denied them because the lots were too wet. So they said, we're gonna wait till the lots dry out. Now, again, they've had extensions since 1981, and when the principal, Mr. Law, was asked, what has he done since 1981? He said he was quite busy in Florida with his business in Florida, which in other words is telling us, I'm not interested in New Jersey. I live in Florida and I got business in Florida. That's more important. As a result, it was a unanimous decision to deny any more extensions. The Bud Lake Diner was on next. Our recording device went bad and we couldn't finish the meeting.
Oh, gosh.
We had to adjourn the meeting because we couldn't record it.
It's been fixed
It's
since
been fixed?
they came in yesterday.
So they have to come back?
Yes.
What are they looking to do?
Pardon?
What's Bud Lake Diner looking to do?
They're looking to expand their lot for park 12 more cars.
Not the gas station next door.
No, but he's somebody that's going to speak against it. He was there at the meeting.
Anything else, Mr. Mania? Your legislative committee report,
nothing.
nothing? Okay. And for myself, with the Board of Health, we had our meeting last week and had a special meeting during the week with the department. We're working on accreditation program, which the book is huge. And it's going to be years of work, but it looks very interesting, and it'll enable them to apply for more grants and get funding and so on and so forth. And it's just a wonderful program, and it's really cool how they really embrace the whole thing of it. Everybody's looking forward to getting through this. And the Board of Health meeting went well. I think it was 10 minutes and we were done. We didn't have a lot to discuss. Then we go on to Open Space Committee. One question I just want to ask Andrew, did they bring the sheep and the goats here yet for Project
I
Chew?
don't know, I'll find out.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I was going to call you earlier today and ask you, and I didn't get a chance. So, and then we have some grant applications going in for some more trail work that we want to have done. And they keep talking about having a, what are those, a geo something or other? I don't understand those.
The mapping?
Yeah, the geo, we have, it's like a, geocat.
Caching.
Caching, geocaching? John, do you know what that is? John?
No.
Well, anyway, it's supposed to be a fun thing. You do it on the trails, you hide things, and you go looking for I don't really
Right, it's
understand.
like a virtual scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's what they say. It's a lot of fun. So they're just talking about different ways to get the public more knowledgeable on the trails, where they are, and so on and so forth. Because as hard as we've been working on blazing the trails, we're not getting a lot of use out of the trails. So, just try to have some kind of event and we think once people see the trails and how beautiful they are and how easy they are to get to, that maybe we'll have some more people using the trails. And let me see, what's my other one? Stigma Committee. Well, last night we had our meeting for MOMAC and Stigma, and we're trying to figure out a good way for people to understand like what stigma is, like a good definition, because there seems to be a lot of confusion along those lines. And that's about it. Oh, one other thing, I'm sorry. MOMAC, the county had given Lisa a bunch of packages to pass out to to alcohol serving places or tobacco serving places that had to identify fake IDs. So we were all given a package, and we all committed to a store to go to. I brought mine to George's Liquor. Jack was really, he's like, oh, this is cool. So that's what we did last night. And that's all I had to report. And I would like to open the meeting to the public. Anybody from the public have anything? No, nothing? Okay, I should ask, did you guys deliver your packages yet?
Not yet, Colin.
They had them too. Okay, then we have council comments. Well, I have to close the meeting to the public, and now council comments.
Could I ask first,
Yep.
Mr. Leander?
Yep, Mr. Amianda?
Yeah, I have a comment on Mount Olive Life magazine. I don't know if you have seen it. I thank the publishers, Joe Nicastro and his wife, Mary Lalama, for the Mount Olive Life magazine. The magazine tells all you want to know about our hardworking people that make Mount Olive Township great. And I thought it was something new, and everybody should read that if you have a chance. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fronte?
I just want to congratulate Mr. Stewart for his induction to the Senior Hall of Fame of Hackettstown. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mania?
Couple of things. One, my deepest sympathy to the parents of the children involved in that school bus traffic accident. Should have never happened, but it did, and my heart goes out to the parents. And secondly, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Stewart on his induction into the Senior
Yes, sir.
Hall of Fame.
Reinforces what my daughter tells me all the time, that I'm old.
Mr. Mania, have any other, Do you have any more comments?
Just a comment about that.
Yeah.
My parents always used to say in Italian, "Chi guma te, tu diventa guma me," which means, I once was like you, you better hope you get like me. Because the alternative is not good.
You had to teach me that.
True.
I'll use
I
it with
will.
my Chinese daughter.
Mr. Stewart?
Thank you, and thank you for all the compliments, everybody. But a special shout out to Lisa for chairing MOMAC and the efforts that are going on, both with Stigma as well as from MOMAC's perspective. And just a reminder, August 7th will be National Night Out that is sponsored by through MOMAC
Thank you.
and the police department.
And anybody wants to make a donation for it, because they want to make sure it's free event for everyone, so anybody wanting to do any sponsorship, let us know. Contact Carl Mace, Officer Mace. Anything else, Greg?
Nope,
No?
thank
Okay.
you.
I also want to congratulate Mr. Stewart. I have to say, in the time that I've known Greg, I don't know how many years now, everything Greg gets involved in, he embraces it. 1,000,000%, and very impressive, and I'm glad that you're being recognized, because
Thank
you work very, very hard, but you do it from your heart, and I think when you get nominated and awarded for different things, I think you're like truly surprised, and you're very deserving, but you're like surprised, like, oh, no, somebody else, but absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. And then the other thing I just wanted to say in regards to the bus accident, the horrible Paramus bus accident, not only are the families of the injured and deceased affected so deeply, it's horrible. One of our first responders posted on Facebook and said this is something they always train for and hope they never ever have to use their training for it. And just the thought of having 43 victims laying on the side of the road and hanging out of the bus, I mean, it's the horror that you go through to see that. Yeah. It's just, and I could even tell when Rob, our mayor, when he was on the TV and doing an interview, I waited a few hours and I sent him a text. I want to know how he was, because I could tell
He
even.
was choked up when he was talking.
Oh, yeah, it was, and so like everybody, it just affects you 100%. But I am very grateful that we did have our first responders in all of our surrounding areas and our police officers that were there. They're very compassionate, caring people, and that they were there to help all of these victims, and that's greatly appreciated, and hope everybody mends as well as they possibly can. And with that, I'd
Just
like.
an afterthought. Keep all the victims and their parents in your prayers.
Absolutely, and our first responders
Yes.
as well. Everybody is affected by this. I know even, we weren't even there or anything, and it just takes a toll on you, But may I please have
It'd be a tragedy to lose a child.
oh, it is horrible. Can I have,
Andrew, I think, wanted to
oh,
say-
Andrew?
On that note, I spoke to the mayor the other day, and he wanted to purchase a tree from the Tree Bank Fund and plant it at the Memory Garden in
Oh,
remember
nice.
remembrance of the,
Oh, that's nice.
so.
Oh, what a
Very
great
nice thought.
idea.
We're working on that.
That's an excellent idea.
Excellent idea.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is now.
Good job, Colin.
Thank you very much.